just got a good vantage point of, this is East Peak right here.
If you've ever wondered what it's like to ascend one of Queensland's most infamous mountains via a treacherous and life-endangering route known as Logan's Ridge, then stick around. I think you're going to want to see this.
This is what you'll be climbing up.
Mt Barney. This is Southeast Queensland's premier hiking mountain.
It certainly is, John. Hey everybody, that's John from Jel Builder, one of Queensland's great outdoor YouTubers. No question of that. He's just, him and his son just did Mt Barney, and I strongly advise you to go and catch that video. It's absolutely fantastic over on his channel. Link there on the screen for you. Let's have a look at the geology, John. Why not? That's what we do, because us geo nerds, that's the way we roll. Well, folks, here we are today over at the Story Bridge, of course, because it's such an iconic image. We're going to go through the city nice and gentle. We don't want to break too much glass here, but we've been cleared for hypersonic flight. And today, we're going down to Mt Barney, and we're doing Mach 16. That's what it would look like if we were in a hypersonic aircraft. It doesn't take long to get there. It's 90 kilometres. Here we are, Mt Barney. Beautiful big lump of granodiorite on the edge of an ancient caldera, which we're going to speak more about. It's not part of the Mount Warning volcano, which a lot of people think it is. It is not. It's related, but it isn't part of it. And it's not part of the Great Dividing Range complex, although it is in the Great Dividing Range. Volcanically, it's very separate. Just pull back a bit here for you. You can see where it is located. There's Brisbane up there in South Stradbroke Island. And pull back, you can see the Mount Warning volcano there. So let's have a look at the geology, because this thing's interesting. Well, folks, how did Mt Barney get its name? Well, we'll start here. This is Alan Cunningham. Amazing guy. Nothing bad to say. Alan named it after this bloke originally, Sir John Major General John Lindsay. It was Mount Lindsay. Then along came this awesome guy, Sir Thomas Mitchell of the Major Mitchell Galah fame, and he renamed it after this bloke, Mr. Barney. So there you go. So Mt Barney is now Mt Barney. However, just up the road, Alan Cunningham, this nice guy, had named another mountain after another bloke called Hooker. It was called Mount Hooker. No giggling in the back row, all right? I don't know much about this guy. But then Sir Thomas Major Mitchell comes along and renames Mount Hooker Mount Lindsay. So today we have Mt Barney is Mt Barney, and what was Mount Hooker is now Mount Lindsay. Get it?
Don't you see? The pellet with the poison's in the vessel with the pestle.
The chalice from the palace has the brew with it, it's true.
So easy, I can say it.
Well, then you find him.
But we all know who it was really named after. Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I suppose this is 1920, by the way. A nice black and white shot of Mt Barney. 1920. Here we are. Got to talk about this guy as much as I hate doing it. Bit of a nut job, but, you know, cognitive dissonant people we are. Raving nut job and a great explorer. He saw a lot of Southeast Queensland. Him and Alan Cunningham wandered all over the place. In 1827, they found themselves, 1828 actually, they found themselves climbing Mt Barney with a guy called Charles Fraser, as mentioned in John's video. And the other two packed in, and he got to the top and realised, oh, gee, we thought this was Mount Warning. It's not. I can see Mount Warning. But anyway, he did that. Well, folks, that's Mount Maroon. Just spinning around his old Mt Barney. Poor old Queensland Globe was having a few hiccups this day. And there's Mount Lindsay. And we'll go down and have a bit of a look at Mount Lindsay. Mount Lindsay's the one that looks like it's got a hat on. People get them confused from a distance, but you'll see that shape is unique. That's Mount Lindsay. A lot of people think that's Mount Barney. It is not. So anyway, here's the geology from over at the top. It's fairly complicated. The red stuff is granodiorite, which is all the Mt Barney complex. It's mainly igneous. Some of it's intrusive. The granodiorite was formed under the ground like the Glasshouse Mountains. Here we can see a list of it all. It's got a lot of stuff there. I could do an hour on this stuff. But the thing to look at is Focal Peak. Focal Peak was the volcano, not Mt Barney. Mt Barney was a magma intrusion that came up under the ground and it hardened under the ground. It did not make it to the surface. Those other mountains around it are made out of andesite. That's lava. That made it to the surface. And behind this is Focal Peak. I put up the magnetics because Focal Peak becomes very obvious where the volcano was. They're the magnetics. So I'm actually going to keep them going a little further because they were so pretty. It's funny how the magnetic survey stops at the border. I don't quite understand that, but anyway, that's what Queensland Globe does. Just look at the Darling Downs. The Granite Belt and the Stanthorpe. Look at the magnetics up there. It's insane. But anyway, let's have a bit of a look. This time I'll show you the radioactive elements. For no other reason, this is the most beautiful map I've ever seen. I've 3D wrapped this onto the Queensland Globe terrain. And this is thorium, uranium, and potassium as seen from space. Unbelievably pretty. Tells us absolutely nothing. This is gravity. These are gravimetrics. And there's the caldera with Mt Barney, and the gravimetrics stop at the border too. But you notice the radioactive isotopes don't. Not quite sure how that works. As you can see up here on the downs, very different gravity situation that we have down at Mt Barney. Let's have a look at this now. We'll just pull back. It is, you can see that caldera shape. That has just collapsed after that volcano ran out of steam. Why is this volcano here? Well, why are they all here? Well, this is not a plate boundary. This is a mantle hotspot volcano. And I'm going to do a whole video on this, so I'm not going to do too much on it now. This is called the Cosgrove hotspot. 34 million years up the top, 0 million years down the bottom. This thing, Australia has just cruised over the top of this over the last 34 million years like a blowtorch. And it has blown all these mantle volcanoes through our continent. And it is still down between King Island and Tasmania, or so it is calculated. There is no geological evidence of that just yet. I'm going to do a whole video on that. We won't spend too much time on it just now. 23 million years old, folks. That's how old the Mt Barney complex is, and Mount Lindsay and Mount Warning. Most of the volcanics, including the Glasshouse Mountains, even Indian Head, they are all about that age. The Glasshouse Mountains are made out of trachyte. That's a different chemistry, but it's the same intrusive formation underground. That's granodiorite there. There is trachyte down there. There's andesite down there. There's just no basalt down there because it's not ocean floor. That's not been formed by a plate boundary. This is mantle. Now this mantle lava down there, the andesitic lava, is really dangerous. It comes from the Andes, and this stuff is gloopy, and it does not go split, it goes bang. That was a very, very explosive volcano down there when it first came out. Then the Shield volcano started to run, the Mount Warning Shield volcano, and of course the Shield volcano up on the Darling Downs as well. There's a lot up there. Anyway, that's Mt Barney. If you get a chance, go and check out Jel Builder, John's channel. He does some great videos, he really does. He does stealth camping, he's into climbing stuff, Captain Caveman running through, looking at caves and things. And he's also a really nice guy. So anyway, that's the last ad I do, John. Not true. I only speak what I believe. Anyway, more coming soon. Cabbage Tree Creek is in the bag. I'm just editing that now. About to shoot the second half of that tomorrow. Got some videos coming up on graphite, strategic mineral. We'll do some of that, Australia's graphite situation. And of course, any other stupid thing that takes my fancy. Thanks to all the new subscribers. Amazing. It really is great to see you coming on board. Appreciate it. Your old subscribers. Tell your friends. And we'll catch you next time. Keep rocking. T-Rock's out.